Hey guys, RC here. Welcome back. This is episode 15 of American Glory, our little FM18 experiment. Just to catch you up because it's been about a month since the last episode, which shouldn't be a surprise if you've been following the channel. Work picked up, some changes at work, and got a hella busy. And been focusing on the journeyman for my playing and my save. I've gotten sidetracked into some other stuff. I'm back into Fallout, doing some Fallout things on my own, some character builds, some building stuff. You'll see a few videos come up, mostly doing streaming of that if I'm doing anything. I've also started streaming on the weekends. My lead save I'm going to convert over to a Twitch stream, and so I'll be doing that on Saturdays and Sundays, probably both days most of the time, barring something coming up in real life. So anyway, headed out to work this morning, but I said, you know what? I need to do another American Glory, need to catch up with RC and see how he's doing. So I pulled up the game, fired it up, went on vacation for a year, and hit the road today, came back home. The year was done. It does take several hours to do that, to sim through a season now. So anyway, we are back. I've gotten home. I have pulled up the game, and here we are. I have not looked at anything. I did notice that evidently RC calls for focus from the United States, and if we check that, do not underestimate the Japanese team in Confederation Cup Group A. And then the U.S. takes on Japan, and right here, the Team USA keeper was evidently sent off in the 46th minute, so just after halftime. I guess he just didn't want to play the full match that day. And looks like Japan was up 1-0, and U.S. being a man down ended up losing that one 2-0. So coming back into this, let's take a look at the short list. And we will find RC. Here he is. So, still at Chelsea. And before we go to Chelsea, let's just check out the USA. Right there. All right, so they're first in their World Cup qualifying. And if we go to their senior squad, and we can drop back to last year. So, remember, we're simming from July 1st through June 30th. So picking up in September, they beat Haiti in Group 2 of the 4th round. Goals from RC, a second-minute goal, scoring there in a 5-0 win. No goal, but a 3-0 win over Jamaica. A 1-0 loss to Cameroon in a friendly. And then a 3-0 loss to Cameroon in a friendly. I'm wondering, let's see if they had, no, RC was on the field, so they did not have a B or C team in there. Then we come back to the World Cup qualifying for the 5th round against El Salvador, a 3-1 win for the Americans, and then a 2-1 win, thanks in part to an own goal against Honduras. So moving into this year, a draw with Mexico, 1-1, again, taking advantage of an own goal. A 2-0 win over Canada, and then a 2-1 loss to South Africa in a friendly. Back into the North American qualifying 5th round, a 3-1 win over Costa Rica. RC with the 3rd goal in that match. And then RC scored on a penalty, so he's taking penalties now. That's nice, against El Salvador, and a 3-2 victory. Then they beat Egypt 3-2 in Confederations Cup group play. RC with a goal, and the 2-0 loss to Japan. So let's take a look first at the Confederations Cup, I guess. All right, so we are in Group A, and we are tied with Japan after 2 games. So we still have to play Switzerland. that could turn out to be bad for us. That's actually coming up on July 2nd. And then in the North American qualifying for the World Cup, we are first. So 1 draw, no defeats, 16 points, and a +8 goal differential in 6 games. So we had the draw with Mexico, and then we beat everybody else, as we're expected to, unlike this year in real life, or 2017, I guess, because, yeah, not going to the World Cup this year, America. How do you like that? I'm not happy about it, but what are you going to do? Anyway, so looks like we're going to make it through the North American qualifying, and we do have some matches remaining there. Again, Mexico, Honduras, Canada, Costa Rica for the rest of the 5th round. So that's where the U.S. team is at. I don't believe they have won anything. Let's see, landmarks. 32. Yeah, nothing here since winning the Gold Cup in 31. So that's good. The U20s won the Under-20 World Cup in 2033, so that was this year. Just trying to see if anything else jumped up in 32 or 33. U20 North American Championship, they won that again in 2033. All right, well, let's get into the short list again. Find RC. He is still at Chelsea. 32 years of age now, 147 caps, 35 goals. Still hanging on to his ratings, thanks in part to that natural fitness. And let's see. For the U.S., 4 goals, 3 assists in 12 matches in the North American qualifying section. 1 goal in 2 matches so far in Confederations Cup, and 1 goal in 1 match in the friendly that he appeared in. And if we take a look, let's see, so he's valued at $53 million. So you remember it was just a couple of seasons ago, his value had just peaked over $100 million. So definitely heading downward as he is aging. He has 1 year left on his contract, so he's entering the final year of his current deal. And that will be interesting because they've actually had a habit of extending him. Now, he does have a 1 year extension option by Chelsea if they want to keep him at a 5% raise. So we'll see how that goes. So how did Chelsea do this year? Well, let's click on them. They finished 6th in the Premier. RC still holding down fort in the central mid as their key player. Now, Rodolfo was their last starting 11. Oh, RC is also their captain. Wasn't he vice captain last season? It's been a while, so I don't really remember, but he is now their captain, so that's great. Let's take a look at this Rodolfo guy. So he's 29, 40 caps for Brazil, valued at $67 million. All right, so that's good. Let's hop back into RC here and overview him. Well, let's see, attributes. Where's the main page? Information. Oh, here we go. No plans for the future. Wants to win a trophy. Excited at the team's chances. No current concerns. All right, let's take a look at his history. All right, so for Chelsea this past year, 32-33, 9 goals, 8 assists in 36 matches, so he's playing regularly still. 36 club matches, 9 goals, 1 penalty, 8 assists, 5 players of the match. So 9 goals, I mean, that matches his career high from 3 years ago. 8 assists is a new, well, ties his career best from his time with Everton 9 years ago. And 5 players of the matches is a new standard by far. 737, he has actually gone up. Let's see, he started 638. Except for these 2 years, 80, 93, 04, 06. Well, these 2 years, he was almost even. But he's basically been able to improve every single season for the most part, even up to the age of 32. So, stellar year. So, where does he go now? So, the interesting thing, well, you know what? Before we talk about that, let's look at injuries. All right, so we started in July of 32, so this was last season. So no injuries this year at all. Nothing. Didn't miss any time, so that's great. 32. All right. Community Shield runners-up. Chelsea Best 11 seasonal. Overall Best 11. USA Player of the Year for 32. North American Player of the Year. US Best 11 for the season. Team of the Week. Premier Division Player of the Month for January. Team of the Week. Player of the Month for March in the Premier. Seasonal Best 11 for Chelsea. And the Supporters Player of the Year. So the fans voted him their Player of the Year. Okay. And runners-up in the Community Shield this year. Competitions. All right, so this actually goes back to last season. All right, well, that's fine. All right, so where does RC go from here? 32, last year of his deal with an option left. I think, he's still starting every game. I think that natural fitness keeps him elevated. Looks like his acceleration may have gone down just a touch, but he's still better than the 29-year-old that's playing beside him. So I think Chelsea keeps him. I think they do that 1-year option, and he may get a new short-term contract. I'm thinking maybe 2 years by Chelsea, but it'll probably be at a reduced contract. Now, whether he takes that or not, that's a different story. He is driven, so I don't think he's going to want to give up. He has actually become a legendary midfielder, even though we did not make him super stellar. We did not make him the best player in the world. So he has still become a legendary midfielder, so that's good. So I'm curious to see what you guys think. Definitely the best year he's had. It's going to be interesting here, at the end of this next season, where, what happens. Does Chelsea pick up that option? Do they determine that, he's too old? Because he'll be 33 in 6 months. We have him set to turn 33 mid-season in England. So right before the transfer window opens in January, he'll turn 33. So he'll be 33 and a half come the transfer window or the end of the season. Does Chelsea pick up the option on a guy that'll be 34 the following year in that option year? Or do they decline it, and then what does he do? Does a lower end Premier club pick him up, with his talent? Does he pull a David Beckham and return to, does he return to America and play for one of the MLS sides? I think that'll be interesting to find out. But anyway, that is where we are at. Solid season for him. Looks like he's done relatively well with the United States. We do have the World Cup coming up as well. I don't know if that's going to be the following season. Let's see if I can figure that out real quick. World Cup. All right, so that will actually be scheduled on December 9th and then starts June 16th. So the World Cup will have just started about 2 weeks into the World Cup this time next year. So next video, we'll see where we are in the World Cup. Switzerland, the defending champs there. Brazil, been a couple of years removed. 22, 30. Yeah, okay. So it's every 4 years. I kind of lost track there. So yeah, 2018 this year. Good deal. We'll see if this predicted history with Belgium winning. Guys, thanks for watching. Leave a like for the video. Helps people find it. And subscribe to the channel if you have not. Keep looking out for the new and forthcoming Journeyman saves. Don't forget to try to tune in on Twitch for Leeds United stuff on weekends. And we'll see you next time. You guys have a great one. Thanks for being here. Talk to you. Bye.